Hello friends, welcome to the online lecture series of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Myself, Satyendra Vats, Assistant Professor in ETC Department. Our today's topic is amplitude modulation, which is a part of Unit 2nd of Communication Systems, ETC 4th semester. So, we have already seen why we do modulations in communication system. So in this lecture we will see how we would what is the amplitude modulation used in communication. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of a carrier signal is varied by the modulating voltage or the modulating message, that is the message signals. We already know that in modulation, one of the properties of the carrier signal, which is a high frequency signal, one of the properties of that carrier signal, that is it can be amplitude, it can be frequency, or it can be phase, is varied according to the amplitude of the message signal. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of carrier signal is varied by the modulating voltage, whose frequency is lower than that of the carrier. So AM can be defined as a system of modulation in which the amplitude of the carrier is made proportional to the instantaneous amplitude of the modulating voltage. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the modulated wave, which we will get after modulation, will be proportional to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal or the modulating signal or the modulating voltage. So now let us consider this is our carrier signal whose amplitude it is Vc, and it is a sinusoidal function which can be represented as Vc sine omega ct. Secondly, this is our message signal whose amplitude is Vm, maximum amplitude is Vm, and it is also a sinusoidal signal, so it is represented as Vm sine omega t. So maximum value of Vm sine omega t can be plus Vm, and the minimum value would be minus Vm, as the value of sine function varies from -1 to 1. So that is why the amplitude of modulation or modulating signal Vm will be from minus Vm to Vm. Similarly, the amplitude of the modulated signal, that is the carrier signal, is minus Vc to plus Vc. So from the definition of AM, we can see that the maximum amplitude Vc of the unmodulated carrier will have to be made proportional to the Vm sine omega ct. As we have seen the definition, the maximum amplitude Vc of the unmodulated carrier, because we have seen in the definition the amplitude must vary with the amplitude of message signal, which is Vm sine omega ct. So Vc must be made proportional to Vm sine omega t. Okay, so this is how it will be done. The amplitude of the final modulated wave will look like something like this. In this figure we can see, if this is the magnitude of carrier, then it can vary from Vc plus m, that is this value Vc plus m, because the maximum value of message is Vm, and it can vary up to Vc minus Vm, which is this value. Okay, so it can vary from Vc minus Vm to Vc plus Vm, that is it can vary from this value to this value. This is Vc minus Vm, and this is Vc plus Vm. So this is how it can vary. So when a carrier is amplitude modulated, the proportionality constant we have made in this is unity, and the instantaneous modulating voltage variations are superimposed on the carrier amplitude. So whatever these variations in the amplitude of the message is coming, we are superimposing them onto the carrier signal. Okay, so if there is no modulation, then the amplitude, as you can see in the picture, when there is no modulation, the amplitude of the carrier remains equal to the unmodulated value, that is Vc. So in this case, when there is no modulation, it would remain Vc, and when there is modulation, it will vary according to the message signal Vm sin omega t. Okay, so when modulation is present, the amplitude of the carrier is varied by instantaneous value. So here one more term comes into the picture, which is modulation index, which we can modulation index M can be defined as Vm upon Vc, that is the ratio of modulating, that is the message signal, to the amplitude of carrier signal, that is Vc. So Vm upon Vc is our modulation index. It is also called percentage modulation. Okay, then from the figure we can see on the last page that we have already calculated that M is Vm upon Vc. Okay, and A, that is the changing amplitude of the modulated wave. Amplitude modulated wave will be, it would be, because it is changing with Vm, so it is Vc plus Vm, that comes out to be Vc plus Vm sin omega mt, because if this term is changing, then the amplitude of the modulated wave will change. So this, its value is from minus Vm to plus Vm. So we can write it as A is equal to Vc into 1 plus M sin omega mt, where M is equal to Vm upon Vc. We have put Vm upon Vc as M in the equation. Okay, so this is how we can get the formula for amplitude modulation. Now let the instantaneous voltage of the resulting amplitude modulated wave is A sin theta, because the frequency is not changing. So the frequency of the modulated wave would be same as the carrier frequency. Okay, so it is sin omega ct. Only thing changing is amplitude. And now put the value of A as Vc into 1 plus M sin omega mt, and this is the frequency sin omega ct, which remains the same as the carrier signal, that is the unmodulated wave. So using this trigonometric function, we can simplify our expression for the modulated wave, which comes out to be Vc sin omega ct, which is nothing but the carrier signal, and we get two more terms, which are nothing but the two side bands having frequency omega c minus omega m and omega c plus omega m. So this is the final expression for our amplitude modulated wave. It consists of a sine function, the carrier term, that is the carrier wave, and two side bands. Okay, so amplitude modulated wave contains three terms. First is the unmodulated carrier, which is this one, and two are the side bands. This is the lower side band and this is the upper side band, having frequency fc minus m and fc plus m, or it is, if we write it in the form of omega, it will be omega c minus omega m and omega c plus omega m. Okay, so conclusion from this can be made that the bandwidth required, so what is the bandwidth would be required for the amplitude modulated wave for the transmission would be Fc plus Fm minus Fc minus Fm, that is Fc plus Fm minus Fc plus Fm. So Fc will cancel out and it would come out to be 2Fm. So frequency required for the transmission of amplitude modulated wave is 2 times of message signal or 2 times of modulating signal, that is our message signal. Okay, so we require 2 times the frequency. Now we can see the amplitude modulated wave in this picture as well, in this diagram, very well described diagram. So this is our sine wave, that is the carrier Vc sine omega ct. Now it is the message signal is superimposed on that, so the amplitude is varying from the maximum value, that is Vc plus Vm to this is Vc minus Vm. Okay, sorry, this is the let's see, this is Vc plus Vm and this value is Vc minus Vm. Okay, so the maximum amplitude can be seen here in this picture. Maximum amplitude is this, that is Vc plus Vm. This is Vc and this is Vm, Vc plus Vm, and the V minimum is this one, it is Vc minus Vm. So this is Vc minus Vm up to this point. So this is how the amplitude is changing, and it is the envelope of AM. This is the envelope of AM modulated wave. Okay, so now we know that Vm is equal to M into Vc, that is by the modulation index. Vm is equal to MVc, and from the diagram we can see Vm is equal to Vmax minus V minimum by 2, and Vc, that is the carrier amplitude, is Vmax minus Vm. So putting this value Vm in this, we get Vc is equal to Vmax minus V minimum by 2. So using these two equations we can calculate the modulation index, which comes out to be this, that is Vm upon Vc. Vm is this one and Vc is this. Taking their ratios, we will get modulation index as the maximum value of modulated wave minus minimum divided by maximum plus minimum, Vmax minus V minimum divided by Vmax plus V minimum. So this is how can modulation index be calculated in terms of the maximum value of amplitude of modulated wave. So next is the power calculations. So we have already seen there are three components. One is the carrier signal in the amplitude modulated wave, and two are the sideband. So what would be the power of the modulated wave? If we consider the R as the antenna resistance, we can find out the, as we know, power is equal to V square by R. So this is the carrier power, that is the V carrier square by R. R is the antenna resistance, and this is the power of LSB. This is the power of upper sideband. V carrier is the amplitude of carrier, VLSB is the amplitude of lower sideband, and VUSB is the amplitude of upper side band. So we would use RMS values. So V carrier would become Vc by root 2, as these are the RMS root mean square values. So putting the value Vc by root 2, we get Pc is equal to, that is the carrier power, this is the total power, this is the carrier power is as Vc square by 2R. Okay, now the power of upper side bands, as we know, we have derived the equation in which the amplitude of side bands is m into Vc by 2. These are the amplitude of side bands. You can check in the previous slide. The upper side band and lower side band have both same amplitude. So Vsb square by R would become mVc by 2 divided by root 2 whole square by R, where R is the antenna resistance. So it comes out to be this m square Vc square divided by 8R, or m square by 4 into Vc square by 2R. So Vc square by 2R is nothing but the carrier power. So if we write the total power in terms of carrier power, it would become total power is Pc plus m square by 4 Pc, that is the lower side band power, and m square by 4 Pc upper side band. Both of them have the same magnitude. Upper side band power is equal to lower side band. Now the total power would be equal to Pc into 1 plus m square by 2. So the final expression would come out to be this. The ratio of total power to carrier power is 1 plus m square by 2. So total power is more than the carrier power, as in the modulated wave we have two side bands as well. Okay, so there is an example on that. If a 400 watt carrier is modulated to a depth of 75%, this is the modulation percentage, 75%. That is, this is the value of m, which is given in percentage, so it can be written as 0.75. Okay, now calculate the total power, and we already know the formula for total power is Pc into 1 plus m square by 2. We are given that the carrier power is 400. Putting the values of Pc and m, we would get the total power. So this is how we can calculate the total power if the carrier power is given and the modulation index is given. So next is the current calculations. If we are given the antenna current and antenna resistance is R, so power in terms of current can be written as this. In terms of V, it is written as this, V square by R, and in terms of current it is written as I square R. So both are the same things. If we are given current, we can also calculate the power in the current form. So this is the total power and this is the carrier power. So the ratio of total current upon carrier current would come out to be this one, IT upon IC is equal to under root 1 plus m square by 2, where IT is the total modulated current and IC is the unmodulated, that is the current in the carrier. Okay, so if we are given the currents, we can also find out the modulation index as well. Okay, now if the modulation is done by several sine waves, that is we have several message signals and we want to superimpose that onto a single carrier, so how would the modulation index would look like, or the power? So the total power of the sidebands would be equal to the sidebands of all the message signals. So PSBT, that is the total sideband power, will be equal to PSB1, PSB2, PSB3. Whatever number of sideband would be created, their power will be equal to the total sideband power. The carrier power will be unaffected. Carrier power will remain Pc. It will not be affected. The carrier signal would be there in the original form. Okay, so if we have this relation, that is this, we can put the value. Sideband power was Pc into m square by 2. So putting these values, we would get mt square is equal to m1 square plus m2 square plus m3 square. So MT would come out to be the total modulation index for several sine waves superimposed on a single carrier can be calculated as under root m1 square plus m2 square plus m3 square and so on. So this is how we can calculate the modulation index. We have seen the final expression for the amplitude modulated wave. Okay, so you can calculate all these things. So this is it for the lecture. In this lecture we have seen basic things about the amplitude modulation. Okay, thank you very much.